three people who are behind something I'm super excited about, man. Over here to my left, we have Ali Shaheed Muhammad, who a lot of people know from the legendary hip-hop group Tribe Called Quest. Over here to my right, we got Adrian Young, who like produced arguably two of my favorite Ghostface Killer records ever.
Thank you, bro.
Yo, man, you be going in on the soul tip. And we also got Cheo Coker, who is the creator of the brand new show that's they're doing on Netflix.
Marvel's Luke Cage. Yeah.
Luke Cage. Like, when I saw you walking down the hallway, I thought you were Luke Cage.
I wish. I mean, Mike Coulter is much more muscular, much better looking than me. But
I'm looking at you. I'm thinking you could be Luke Cage's
I'm
brother.
saying.
Yo, if there's a part,
in.
I know season 2 is gonna happen because the way the internet is talking about this show, man, they're like really excited from the first trailer. Now it's set in Harlem, right?
Yeah.
Now is it set like in like current Harlem, where like it's kind of like white, or is it like set like in Harlem the way we remember? Like
no, it's set in current Harlem, and actually it's great that you mentioned that because that's one of the points of the show. It's about, you know, the current Harlem and the old Harlem simultaneously in terms of you have gentrification happening, and it's a plot point in terms of what happens with Mahershala Ali's character Cottonmouth, in addition to Alfre Woodard, who plays his cousin, and she's also a local politician. And so you got their whole thing happening in terms of trying to preserve the old Harlem, and then at the same time you've got this character who Luke Cage. It's kind of basically a black hip hop western, because you got the mysterious man with a past who's trying to lay low and kind of run from his past, and then he comes into this town. A lot of stuff's happening, and then he has to decide very quickly: am I going to get involved or am I not going to get involved? And Harlem's Paradise, which is the nightclub that Cottonmouth owns, is kind of like the, you know, is basically the saloon, you know, and you know, Lenox Avenue is kind of like, you know, the dusty main town square where the showdown happens. Nice. And so what I always say is that the powers belong to Marvel, but it's the real world. It's not Metropolis. It's not Gotham City. It's Harlem.
That's what's always dope about the Marvel joints, the fact that it makes it more real, because like, oh, you know, it's not like Any Coast USA. It's like, you know, this is going down in New York City. And you guys got two of the dopest, you know, musicians that you could possibly have to, you know, paint the background tale for this, man. So like, you know, because like when you think about great shows, New York Undercover, people always love not only just the storylines, but the music and also the fashion. So to get these two involved, man, like what are y'all bringing to the table?
Well, see, they're bringing Hot Butter Soul. You know, it's just like your T-shirt. I mean, but what's crazy is, okay, Isaac Hayes, a perfect example. It's like when Isaac Hayes created the theme for Shaft, when Gordon Parks was shooting Shaft, he wanted Shaft to have a theme song the same way that James Bond has a theme song, the same way that Steve McQueen, when he played Bullet, had a theme song. And so one of the things that was impressed upon me by both Adrian and Ali was that Luke Cage has to have a feel. Not only is it about, you know, the world and building an authentic world, that he has to have a musical theme. And that was one of the things that Adrian, particularly with Black Dynamite, and also when you listen to the Ghostface records that he did, you know, you listen to those records and it's like watching a movie. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, well, Ghostface is all drama anyway, but then when you add that to just kind of some of the classical elements, and so that's why it was so great for me, because it was Adrian's approach and Ali's approach together, and the fact that, you know, it was bringing an old friend and also finding out that he's working with somebody new and they all had their own relationship, and then the fact that they were also able to come together on the show was just, I mean, for me, I'm just a fanboy at that, you know. I'm a fanboy geek, not only in terms of comic books, but also in hip-hop. So to even literally be with these guys is just like, it's blowing my mind.
You guys like musical superheroes. I mean, you may not feel it because you guys are who you are, but like, I mean, the Tribe records, they mean so much to so many people. And I mean, I know you probably hear this every day, right?
Not every day, but it's nice to hear it, you know, that you know, something that you've done touch people's heart. And on a global sense, so and it's something that you dream about when you're like 12, 13, and then to actually be able to do it, it's hard to bring to words. But definitely we, you know, brought that same passion that moved that into this Luke Cage situation, and it's like what Cheo said. We really wanted to give it its own identity, and it's easy to fill up something with other people's music, but we understood how special the character Luke Cage is, and we really wanted to just have a stamp. And both Adrian and I, we really wanted to sort of send a message to specifically Hollywood, but to the world that, you know, hip hop is really special, and is such a untapped wealth of creative people there. You know, you think of just making music as drum machines, beats, synthesizers, but it's a lot more to that, and there's a lot more creativity to it. So that's what we brought to it.
And Adrian, like, I mean, like, you feel the soul, like, you bringing the soul back to music as well. Like, I mean, not only with the Ghostface record, there was a record that you did for a young lady. The letters were blue on the cover. Daggone it, man! It was getting so much run in my iPod, but like,
I don't even know, but I understand the point though.
Yeah, like, you know, you could tell there's instrumentation involved, and I know that's going to translate so well on the show.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
So looking at this whole, like, the thing is going to play out in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There is a world that exists on television, you know, like the Daredevil and the Jessica Jones on Netflix. Will this ever cross over into the cinematic universe as well?
Well, we acknowledge the cinematic universe. Like, basically, you know, when you saw the Avengers, right, the first Avengers movie, when all that craziness happened, you know, in Midtown Manhattan, that is now referred to on the television shows as the incident.
Okay.
And so, yes, they're interconnected, but in terms of whether or not Luke Cage is going to pop up in the Infinity War or anything like that, that's really not only is it above my pay grade, Marvel is so secretive, they would actually send assassins to, you know, out to find me. So, and luckily, I don't even know.
Gotcha.
But what I would say is that it's interconnected from the standpoint that, yes, there is an acknowledgement from the television standpoint that the Avengers happened, but really the main concern and the main focus of the shows is Marvel superheroes in this television universe. So for example, the cinematic thing is kind of over there, but really the main focus of Luke Cage is connected to Jessica Jones, to Daredevil, to Iron Fist, which is actually what's filming right now, because they all come together for the Defenders. And so it's just that between all the different characters kind of coming together, it's you know, basically what it's like. It's like a perfect musical analogy. It's the same way that when you have native tongues, any member of the native tongues can show up on one of the records, and that's kind of what happened with the music universe, is the fact that it's like, you know, you could have Buddy on the De La record, you can have Doing Our Own Thing on the Jungle Brothers record, you can have, you know, I'm Gonna Do You. It's like everyone kind of walks over, you know, who's that Calliope, who's recording, let me go over here. That's kind of what it's like in terms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is that it's all interconnected in that way. So that's why characters pop up, like, you know, Claire Temple as Rosario Dawson pops up in Daredevil, but then she plays a major role, I can reveal that much, on Luke Cage. And so that's kind of the fun of it, is that, you know, Hell's Kitchen is Hell's Kitchen, but Luke Cage comes uptown. And uptown, we're introducing the world to a lot of different people, but then some old familiar faces are also going to show up. But that's the thing, man. It's like, if you're a geek like I am, just to kind of see these things done and done right is, like, for me, just watching the Frank Miller version of Daredevil kick so much behind, and then at the same time watching Brian Michael Bendis' Alias come to life as Jessica Jones is another thing. But when you see Luke Cage, which is kind of definitely a throwback, but at the same time its own modern day Harlem hip hop thing, I just cannot wait for people to watch this entire thing on September 30th.
If there was a way I could respectfully bootleg it and see it early, I totally will. But September 30th is the date.
See, but you don't have to bootleg it. Just tell people to watch.
No, I'm gonna tell people to watch. What's it now? You know what I'm saying? Like, I watched the trailer like the length of time that an episode would run. Like, I just ran it back, like, you know, 60 minutes worth, you know, just to get that full feel. Like, you guys are putting together something magical. I could already sense it. I felt it, like, when the Get Down was getting ready to drop. It's like, yo, this is gonna be special.
Yeah.
But yo, Luke Cage, September 30th, Netflix, 12 episodes, right?
13
13 bonus.
Yeah, 13
bonus episode.
But like, not only is the 30th the day that the show's dropping, it's also the day the soundtrack's dropping.
Tight.
So it's
actually it got pushed to the next week. So the soundtrack, the scores and the soundtrack's gonna be on the 7th. Yeah, we just found that.
Okay,
but
they're giving us the helicopter, but is there anybody that, like, who should we be looking for on the soundtrack?
Method Man.
What?
He smashed it.
Yeah.
He smashed it. Yeah, he really smashed it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of special things. I mean, Cheo created a show that I'm just gonna go out there and say it's the best show that Marvel's made as far as the television series is concerned, and it's because of his attention to detail.
I won't say it's the best. I'll say that I'm happy to be working with everybody.
But all of them, all the shows are great. But then everything. The last thing you do should be your greatest.
Absolutely.
So everything that they're doing is just getting better and better. And because the episodes were so good, it just put Ali and I in a position where our minds were endlessly fertile to create music. Like they just gave us the authority to go where we wanted. With music, I mean, I can't believe some of the stuff that they allowed us to do with music. And then we had a full 30-piece orchestra conducted by our dude Miguel Atwood Ferguson. So like, imagine the filthiest hip hop breaks being scored to Luke Cage for right now. You know what I'm saying? Through the scope of what hip hop has taught us. Hip hop taught us that these breaks is dope. So we said, okay, we're gonna synthesize what hip hop created for us, what the music created for us, and then make something for today through the eyes of what Cheo, Marvel, Netflix really wanted to represent for the show, and they allowed us to do it with no kickback. Yeah. Actually, they pushed us further, just keep going further and further. Yeah. So it's an exciting time.
So it's basically bulletproof hot buttered hip hop.
Gotta love it, man. They actually drew a picture of a gun and pointed it at me before we go. There was a rumor recently that there's a new Tribe album coming soon. Is there a new Tribe album coming?
I can't comment.
Oh man, that's terrible if you can't comment, because they was making it sound like it's definitely going down.
I can't comment.
Okay, cool. And I was trying to read your
Shroud of
body language.
Secrecy,
I don't know.
Because Ali's been working with Marvel for long enough to know that when you reveal it, and you don't talk about it until it's talked about.
Thanks, Marvel. You taught me a lot.
You guys are a secret society of secret keepers. One time for Ali Shaheed Muhammad, Cheo Coca, Adrian Young, Luke Cage, September 30th, Netflix. Not in your barbershop, Netflix.
Although you can watch Netflix in the barbershop.
You can, but I feel like, like everybody, the streams. It's all about the streams.
You
Individual streams, man.
In the barbershop.
Trying to get season 4.
The Ricky Smiley Morning Show.